Good to go? Okay, Baruch Hashem. I would like to speak b'siyata d'shmaya about David Blaine. Okay? Why would I like to do that? He's pretty impressive, right? Some pretty amazing things.
Does some things people shouldn't be able to do.
Yeah, I'm saying this is next level stuff. Are these wonders from God?
What specifically?
I don't know, Rabbi. They stayed underwater.
Yeah, the stuff that he can do.
It's pretty impressive.
Pretty inhumane.
Let's see. I'm saying next level, right? Miraculous almost.
But what draws the line?
Says the Rambam. Halacha Zayin. Hanavi, the role of the prophet is the following. Sometimes the prophet has a message only for himself. The job of the prophet is that he receives wisdom and prophecy for something that he should know. The prophet receives wisdom for himself in order to expand his heart and to increase his knowledge about the world. That the prophet can get to such a state where he knows things way above what he knew previously. So the prophet may receive his prophecy for himself to get wondrous revelations more than he ever knew before. That's one. The Efshar, it's possible that the prophet sheyeshulach la'am me'amei ha'aretz. It's possible that the prophet will receive a message to go and tell to other human beings. Could be the whole world. This means anybody. Jonah had to go and help Nineveh. Governments, countries, be nice if you had a prophet helping you. Wouldn't that be good? If the president had a prophet, it's pretty good. Or people of a city, or an entire government. Why, says the Rambam, levoinin oisam? Interesting. One of the purposes of prophecy for an entire nation may be just to make them wiser people. That the prophecy could be just to help America become wiser. To help Argentina become wiser. Canada become wiser. France become wiser. Levoinin oisam. Elohoidia ma yasu. Or it could be for them to do something. Meaning there's a difference of just becoming wiser or that the entire country has to turn course to a different direction. They might come and tell the government, you need to turn course. Or this executive order has to be shifted. It's not going to go well. Or you should make this executive order, and it will go well. Or to stop them from doing something bad that they're doing. So it could be just to make them wiser. It could be to have them go do something, put a specific executive order into place. Or it could be to have them cancel and nullify that executive order. Okay, this is the good stuff. Now, when the prophet is sent, when the prophet is sent, he will give a sign or wonder to show the validity of his prophecy. David Blaine, prophet, is pretty good signs and wonders. Besides all the glass eating and the frog in the belly stuff. Isn't that a sign and wonder?
Yeah, but he needs the other prerequisites.
Oh, so we're going to see. that it's not enough to do a sign and wonder. You have to be somebody that went through the entire sequence. I don't know if David did that. The entire sequence of purification, of becoming humble, becoming a person of wisdom. Go through all the things the Rambam said earlier in the chapter that we went through. If you went through that refinement process and you show a sign. So we'll see a sign is not enough per se. Now, the sign though is very significant because somebody who's doing a sign, you see there's something here. There's something here. It's clear that this man has a power that is not a regular power. If somebody can, I don't know what David's doing, but let's say if you're able to disappear something, jump across, a Himalayan mountain. Yeah.
But who is he doing it for?
Okay, so that's what we're going to see, is that the sign itself will not be enough. However, the sign is significant. The sign is a significant thing. The sign is actually part of the regular prophet. We're going to see. This is going to be completely different than Moshe Rabbeinu. Completely different. You have to hold on to your tzitzis when we get to Moshe Rabbeinu, okay? But for now, this is everybody but Moses. That the prophet, that's right. When my son was 2, so but when you turn 3, you get your tzitzis. So but the kids are already learning how to say Shema and kiss the tzitzis. So what do you do when half the kids in the class were 3 and half of them were 2? So when they're saying, tzitzis, tzitzis. So if you didn't have one, so you just take your buddy's tzitzis and kiss your buddy's tzitzis. So hold on to your tzitzis, okay? And you know what I'm saying? You understand. Mizrad Hashem will all have tzitzis very soon. Amen ve'amen. There's witnesses here who heard those amens. So, the sign that's given from the prophet is significant. Kedei sheyedu ha'am shehakel shalochoi be'emes. The sign is actually something that the Rambam is teaching us, is that creates significance in the eyes of the people that shows that God is behind this. The sign is a very significant thing of a prophet. The sign could be a wonder, mamish a wonder, splits the sea, stops the sun. Those are pretty good signs. Predicts the future. But the sign has to come true. And if any of the signs, we'll see in a moment, crumble, then he's clipped. He's clipped.
Show me the sun stop.
Yeah. Yeah. In time of Yoshua ben Nun. Joshua.
Guy who on the phone, That was the only time, right?
I heard that. I heard from Zev Leff that there is a tradition in certain Eastern cultures that describe during the same time that they describe an exceptionally long night on the other side of the world. Whereas here we had the sun stay out, they have a tradition of a very long night. So the prophet gives a sign. Now the sign has to come true. If it doesn't, then it's a big problem. He's clipped. He's a Navi Sheker. And it could be that his sign was good, but if something later comes that makes that his sign does not pan out, and a lot of people are talking about when's Bitcoin going to hit 100,000? I'm saying back before it had touched that sweet 100,000. So, you always have these people that say they put a date there to show their prophetic. So, if the date passed and that person was wrong, so he's clipped. He's not a Navi. If he claims to be a Navi, that's exceptionally problematic. That's the Navi Sheker. He's coming in the name of prophecy. That's a very big problem. Navi Sheker. Here, the prophet, though, comes with a sign. Okay. Says the Rambam, the sign is so significant But don't think just because somebody brings a sign that he's true. V'loi kol ha'oisa ois u'moifis, not everybody that can make a sign or some wonder, ma'aminim oisa shu navi. Not every single person that could do wondrous things and magic tricks is a prophet. Ella, who is the prophet? You see someone that does a sign, but he does something else. Shahayinu yoidim boy metchilasa. You know about this person before the prophetic vision. Shuroi lenevuah, that he's somebody that's fitting to have nevuah. Who is somebody fitting to have nevuah? Who we learned about in the beginning of the chapter. Humble person. We said a strong person. Happy person. That was the most important thing. A happy person. That was the penultimate requirement to be a Navi, to be happy. That's right. He has to be happy. And therefore, the Navi does not have these things, and he's claiming to be one. And even if he makes a sign or does some wondrous magic trick, we don't listen. So, but somebody who does a sign and has these qualities, we listen. So the Rambam says, who is somebody that if he does a sign and he has these things, and what are these things? He has chokhmah ubemaisav. Shenis'ala behem, through his wisdom and his deeds. It's not enough that he's just a wise person. He has good deeds. He takes care of his wife and kids. He's kind. He's loving. He's honest in business. I think a Navi can cheat in business. To be a Navi, you have to be a perfected human being. A Navi? And therefore, if somebody comes along and does a magic trick, but we know about his private life and behavior, that he's not an honest and upright person, so then he's clipped. That disqualifies him. Shenis'al behem al kol b'nei giloy, somebody who's exceptional. V'haya mahalach bedarchei hanevuah. Now, he adds a couple more qualifications. Somebody who does a sign, and you know he is somebody that's been in the process of working on self-perfection. Bikdushasa v'prishusa, in a holiness and prisha. What's precious mean? Precious? Precious means that he has spent adequate time also by himself, speaking to Hashem. The Pirish is somebody that spends time with people, but also has time out of the day that he goes and just spends just with Hashem. That's right. That's right. Yeah, Hebrew word. And therefore, if this person is not working on his Kedusha and his precious, even though he did some wondrous sign, now, if this person has these qualities and he does a sign, says the Rambam, it's a mitzvah to listen to him. And he brings it as one of his 613 mitzvahs. You know that? One of the 613 mitzvahs, Elav Tishma'un. Counted as one of the 613. And therefore, just because somebody does a magic trick, is he a prophet? Or predicts the future? Is he a prophet?
No.
Do you have to listen to him?
No.
Is it impressive?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's impressive. We recognize that. But what's the first thing that you should be thinking if you see like, wow, some awesome thing?
What kind of person?
Okay, what kind of person is he? What kind of person is he? Now the Rambam is going to talk that there's other sources where these tricks could be coming from. And there's a big discussion what those sources are. Is it simply sleight of hand? That might be more the approach of the Rambam. Or according to the Ramban and others, he's channeling from the dark side.
Like dark magic?
Yes, black magic. Yes, Yamach Shema. Yes. That's right.
Same rules?
Like the Mitzri. That's right.
Rules, prophecy.
The Mitzri weren't going to the mikveh, you know what I'm saying? They were turning the snakes into, staffs into snakes. That's impressive. That's impressive. Moshe, you come around here? Little kids can turn their staffs into snakes. Come to Egypt with your magic tricks? We're going to see that our belief in Moses is not based on the signs that he did. Even though he did a few pretty good ones, right? Splitting the Red Sea was pretty good. Amongst others, water from a rock, that's pretty good. 10 plagues, not every day you see that. The man, that's pretty good. We're going to learn that those were necessary for the Jewish people and the destiny of the Jewish people at that time. But that's not the core belief in who Moses' prophecy is. That you're going to see, we're going to get to that. But we're making a very important distinction. The signs are impressive. The first thing that you have to think about when you see an impressive sign is, who is this person? Is he an upright person? Is he a good person? Is he a happy person? How does he speak to his wife and his kids? Believe it or not, which shoe does he put on first? Which one does he tie first? They caught Shabbat Tzvi in that one, Yimach Shemo. He's putting on the wrong one first.
It wasn't for the flour that he wrote with his hands?
There's a lot of them that he was doing, that they started to catch, that he was breaking certain things, especially in Tum and Tahara, and right and left.
But is the same rules to Mashiach and prophecies, the prophets?
Mashiach has more things. Mashiach has more things. He has other things on the CV he has to pull off, like Beis HaMikdash, and bringing all the Jews home. Prophet doesn't have to do that. So if you see signs and wonders, so the first thing is that, yes, that's impressive. But who is this person? If there's question marks around his character, then either, as the Rambam, his path would be, this is more sleight of hand. This is like the most impressive, pulley system and sleight of hand and hologram, under the earth Houdini stuff. Or it's coming from the dark side. That would be the approach of more the Mekubalim, the Kabbalists, the Ramban, with the Imei, and that camp. And that, maybe we'll speak about another time, about where are they getting those powers from? How do you do that? I was like, you're going to teach us? You're not allowed to do that. The Sanhedrin had to know how idol worship worked in order to judge and to paskin that people should not do idol worship. So the dark side is a way that a person could cut deals with the dark side and then have them do impressive things like we saw in Mitzrayim. These parashas.
Why does it exist?
For free will. For free will. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. Yeah.
If someone has these qualities, or maybe maybe not following them as a prophet, but you're looking at them as a person, and they don't find a sign that they show to people. It says it's a mitzvah to listen to this person who has qualities and a sign, but should we also be listening to the people who have the qualities, but...
Yeah, it's not going to be one of the 613 as a love tishma'un, meaning he is a prophet, but if you see somebody that's happy, nice to his wife, nice to his kids, davens with kavana, keeps all the mitzvahs, is happy with sameach bechelkai, is a humble person, I think you'd be a wise person to seek life advice from them. It's not one of Taryag mitzvahs, but this would be probably a good person because he's getting life straight. He's doing it well. And therefore, even though he never did some sign, and therefore he doesn't have a din of a prophet, he's somebody to be looked up to for sure. We're bringing the opposite. If somebody did a sign, but he doesn't have these qualities, so the first thing is that the sign is important. We're speaking about the sign as a big thing. But if he doesn't have these qualities, run away. Run away. If he does have these qualities, now the Rambam says, Elav tishma'u. You now have a mitzvah to listen to him. A mitzvah, a deraisa. Okay? Now, We'll just finish with this part. They fixed it?
Yeah.
Taka. Ve'efshar sheyasa oisu moifis ve'einu navi. It's possible that he would do that sign, and he's not a navi. Ve'zeh ha'ois yesh lo devarim begavoy. It's an interesting word. And this sign, this ois, has devarim begavoy, which means devarim betoich davar zeh. There's something going on besides this. It's not as simple as it looks. Meaning, you thought this is a godly thing. Maybe it was a hologram. Or maybe this is some dark force at play. It's not a sign of his greatness of why he's doing it. It's because he cut some deal with the dark side. So he now has a power that he's wielding to make that sign. But something fishy is going on here. However, if he has all the good qualities, okay, he has all the good qualities, and he does a sign, do you know 100% that the sign was coming from the right place? You don't know 100%. But you have what the Torah indicated you need to listen to him. So, based on that, the Rambam says you listen to him. If he has all the good qualities and the sign, you listen to him. That's very important. We're going to see Moshe Rabbeinu is different. He has all the good qualities and the sign, you listen to him. Afal pikein mitzvah lishmoyalai. But maybe it's from, he has all the good qualities. Not somebody who's rotten in his qualities. Good qualities, and he's doing everything that a prophet does, and he shows a sign. Listen to him. Mitzvah lishmoyalai. Hoyo, because Adam Gadol, he's a big person. I don't mean big like, Rabbi! He's so big, he's so tall, you have to no, I mean big. He's a big person. And Ruchnius. And he's a Chacham, he's wise, and he's royal nevuah. He's somebody that's fitting to get prophecy because of all the good things, that he's nice to his kids and his wife, and to everybody that he meets. Ma'amidin oisay al chelkosay. He gets a chazaka. He gets a status of being a prophet. And the Rambam gives a very interesting comparison. He says we see the same idea based on witnesses, testimony of witnesses. When it comes to a Beis Din, to court, how many witnesses do you need to create reality? Two witnesses to create reality. Two witnesses create reality. Maybe they're lying. So the Torah gives these two witnesses credibility. The Torah gives that. If you listen to those witnesses, you're following the word of the Torah. Now, you can go and try to, you better believe when they come to Beis Din is going to, it's called Drisha v'chakira. They're going to interrogate them, and Beis Din is sharp. These guys, guys. Beis Din, Sanhedrin, these people are the wisest human beings on the earth. These are very sharp people. They'll see if people are, but maybe at the end of the day they were lying. Still, the Torah gives believability to these two witnesses, and therefore, in Beis Din, we are going with the believability of these two witnesses. The Torah is giving a believability. So too, the Rambam says when it comes to the prophet. If everything here that's sensible makes sense, the Rambam says, walk forward that this is a prophet. He has all the qualities, and he shows you a sign. Maybe it's from Kishuf. You have all this. No, I have all the sensible reason to say this person's an authentic prophet. I will walk forward with confidence that the Torah is giving me guidance. Elav tishma'un. And then he ends with a pasuk. He says, "V'anistaros la'Hashem Elokeinu, v'aniglois lan levanenu." The hidden things are for Hashem to know, and the revealed things are for you and I. Meaning, the revealed world. That when I interview this prophet who just did some wondrous sign, and I know about his life, and that he's wise, and he's loving, and he's caring, and he's humble, and he's happy. So, that's what I see. I can make a sensible, logical, rational decision to go forward with the words of this person. Elav tishma'un. Ki ha'adam yirlei nayim, because a man sees with his eyes, V'Hashem yira lalevav, and Hashem sees into the heart. Meaning, if you listen to this person, Hashem says, you have done your part. We live in a rational world. You have all of the evidence that this is good and righteous to go forward. Elav tishma'un, and therefore you're taking the right steps. We're going to see furthermore what are the things that he does, what is considered a miracle, what's considered an ois. We're going deeper into the process. We're going to see how Moshe Rabbeinu, his prophecy was not based on this whatsoever. It was a completely different system at work. Looking forward to continuing together, Bezrat Hashem, with Tchias HaMeis, Moshe Rabbeinu giving the shir himself, with Mashiach Tzidkenu B'mehera V'Yemina. Amen. Have a wonderful